Yes, we're live here on the Woman Agenda on the YouTube channel, and this is obviously Raj, and we have Abbie Bell on the line on
Hi.
here on the podcast. How you doing, Abbie?
Good, thank you. Very good. Thank you so much for having me on. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. Trying to get rid of this cold, but there you
And
go.
yeah,
It keeps coming.
nothing worse. Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So your music journey so far, you're quite new to in music at the moment. Um, and obviously, we've some of the information which I've seen
Mhm.
that you have a new single which is has I think has it come out, the new single?
So yes, we've got one single out. We ended in Nashville, which came out in November, and then we've got our second single, "Take It Off," coming
Take it
the
off. Yeah.
end of this month, May. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Probably best to start from the beginning. So
Yeah, absolutely.
how? Yeah. So how did you get into music and
Yeah, so I've actually been in music since I was in high school, really, maybe even primary school. Growing up and stuff, I always had a kind of natural inclination. I was always wanting to sing and I always had this dream of playing drums and playing guitar. So that kind of evolved as I got older. But it wasn't really until high school where I started, writing my own music. That's when I began to learn how to play acoustic guitar. And then from about the age of 15, maybe even 16, I started performing live out with, school talent shows and things
yeah?
like that, or karaoke, it just depends on. Started playing live, gigging around Edinburgh and the Midlothian, where I'm from. And yeah, I actually went to college to study music and music business. And it was around about my early 20s when I made the decision to be like, I'm ready to start releasing my own music. I've been songwriting since I was the age of 11 or 12. And I had family and friends always pushing me, you should release these songs, you put them on SoundCloud or Bandcamp, whatever was around at the time. And I never really was kind of like, oh no, what if everybody likes them? Nobody likes them. Always a bit shy. But yeah, then in my early 20s, when I was about 21, I decided, no, it's now or never. I love my songs. I love songwriting. So this is the time to do it. And I made the jump and began the journey of releasing my own music to, Spotify and iTunes and things like that. But at that time, I was kind of more what I would say in the pop space. So I was very much kind of doing what was industry led at the time. And then it wasn't until this past year, I took a 5 year hiatus from music. I just needed a break. Most musicians know how hard the journey, any creative
Yeah.
person really knows how hard the journey is. And, it can get really tedious and it can get really, demoralizing at times. So I was like, nope, I need a break. I just need to go do something else, be inspired to start songwriting again. And I picked that up last year, 2022. And I was like, I'm going to start releasing country music. I've always been a fan of country music. And most people, when I was songwriting from an early age, said that my songs were very country, but I didn't really know what this meant. So I was just like, oh, no, I'm more pop, I'm more pop. But as I got older and I started to, learn the kind of fusion and the various elements of music from a critical aspect, I was like, oh no, I can understand now. And I believe that country is very sums up my songs and is the best fitted genre for them. And here we are now. I'm with my band, The High Rise, and yeah, we're on the journey, starting to get our music as a band out there.
Yeah, so wow, country music is it is something which in the UK we've seen is taking off quite well. So there is like
Mm-hmm.
there is a market in the UK for country
Absolutely.
music, and
Mm-hmm.
so is that the same? Obviously in Scotland as well. There's a market in Scotland for country music.
Um, I would say for the everyday.
Hmm.
So if you're a country musician looking to gig or take part in festivals here in Scotland, the country opportunities are quite limited.
Right.
There's amazing music scene within Edinburgh. But it's more leaning towards DJs or cover artists, indie musicians, pop musicians, whereas country here in at least Edinburgh is quite niche. And it starts
Right.
to get better the more you go outwards. So Glasgow has an amazing country music scene, especially the kind of the history with the Grand Old Opry and things like that. Kirkcaldy and Fife has a great music scene for country. And of course, the more north you get, the more trad music there is. So there's a lot of
Ah,
Celtic influences. There's a lot of traditional music festivals, which country can be a part of. It's very traditional in its elements. So there is there, but obviously, if you go to country in Glasgow at the Hydro, it's sold out. So there is definitely a fan base for the bigger musician you get. But I would say if you were starting out,
yeah.
you have to work a little bit harder to try and seek out opportunities to make sure that they're the right fit for you.
And when you're doing country music, do you have to sound like country a lot? Your vocals and is a lot of
Um,
practice being done on that?
Obviously, country is kind of
Hmm.
influenced a lot by North America and things like that. So you might find some people that will put an emphasis on what's called like the country twang.
Yeah.
Um, I'm, as you can probably hear, very much Scottish. So Scottish, my Scottishness tends to come out depending on what the lyrics is. The like my use like verbiage and things like that. Um, I'll have more of a Scottish twang. So I think it really depends on the artist.
Yeah. So what's best suited for that particular artist and so it's yeah, definitely. So it's best to what you're comfortable in.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely.
yeah, definitely. And so at the moment, do you like prefer the way are you like publishing your own music at the moment or with your it's with your band, isn't it? Is it a band?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. So with my band, the High Rise,
the high rise.
so
Okay.
my fellow bandmates Ross and Nathan. So we're a trio. So it's just me, guitar, playing guitar, my drummer Nathan, and then my bassist Ross. And yeah, we completely produce and release our own music. It's co-written by all three of us to a certain degree, all developed by the three of us. And then we've been working with an amazing producer, Sandy Jones, through in Motherwell, who's, helps us to record and kind of produce and finalize the products that then get released.
So how did you all three get together? Did you know each other before, or was it like you moved?
No, no. So, as I mentioned,
Yeah.
so after I had kind of my 5 year break, and then I was, starting to get inspired again. I had writer's block actually for a long, long time. Many songwriters will empathize with this. Writer's block is very difficult because it seems to be the most natural thing in the world to you when you can write something, and then to not have that skill, it can be quite, oh no, what do I do with my life now? But once I got past that and I was feeling inspired and, songs just started coming out of me, I was like, right, this is the time I need to get back into music, but this time I'm going to do it my way. So, not my way in terms of I was being forced to do anything before, but when I was first releasing music in my early 20s, it was more along the lines of I was doing what I felt the industry and what the charts and what audiences wanted, and that was changing like the genre and my songs. So now I was like, no, this time I'm gonna release the songs the way I want them, which is more true to that kind of traditional modern country pop space. And yeah, I just put a Facebook advert up. I was like, I'm looking for bandmates. I'm not looking for session musicians. And although session musicians are amazing, so many talented ones out there, especially within Edinburgh, I wanted people that were willing to commit to the music as well and grow with me, the band and the music, and really, invest in it. And that's when Nathan and Ross came along. And yeah, we had a various few lineup changes. We were first a four-piece. We had a different bassist. There was another guitarist, and then they eventually dropped out due to various reasons. And then,
Yeah.
but at the same time, the three of us just stick together. It came to a point where it's like, we've grew so much as bandmates and as colleagues in a certain respect. You know, we've got a really good thing here. We're both all very invested, so let's just do it as a three-piece and see how we get on.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, this is obviously your Facebook page there,
Yes.
where they can everyone can find the latest news, what you guys are doing, what you guys up to, or information about the music. So yeah, so that is very interesting, and obviously, so they were so your bandmates they were into country music like yourself, and
No. So um, I know definitely my drummer Nathan. I wouldn't say, I'm not sure if he would say himself either that he was a fan of country music, but he obviously was aware of the genre. He's an absolute
mm,
phenomenal drummer, very eclectic. So he can drum in so many various styles. So he was obviously aware of the genre, knew a few artists and a few bands and stuff. Um, my bassist Ross, absolutely not. It took some convincing to be able to get him to start to listen to country music, so we could be, you know, inspired and influenced as a band. But that's the beauty of, you know, working as a three-piece. You know, Nathan and Ross might have not 100% been country music fans when we started this journey, but they were fans and they believed in my songwriting, which I'm so grateful for. And you know, they enjoy the music that we produce together. And I think now they would probably say that they're fans of country music.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I guess one doesn't have to be a massive fan to
Absolutely not.
understand country music and obviously what country
No.
music is.
Yeah.
Uh, because we've seen and obviously and as you've seen country music, and so you started what in country music since 2022.
I would say professionally, yeah, where I was, you know, wanting to invest money and energy into releasing country songs. But, you know, I've been a gigging musician since I was 15, 16. So, you know, it was covering Shania Twain, Dolly Parton, Kelsey Ballerini, things like that. So I've always played and been a fan of country music. And you know, like I said before, most people when they hear my own original songs, they identified it as country. So I guess I've always been part of the space, but it's only been in the last year where I've made that choice to be, you know, fully within the country realm, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. And so yeah, so so you released music in country music, and
Mhm.
so how's the response been like so
Yeah.
far, and in Scotland itself, and what kind of feedback are you getting?
Yeah, we're getting a lot of feedback. I mean, we only started a year ago. And you know, since then we've done headline shows, we've one single, getting ready to release another one. So the fast pace of our progress is kind of speaking for itself. You know, we're very much realists in our band. You know, we know that gonna take a lot of work, and we're willing to dedicate that time and that energy. And we know that we're still at the very, very, very start of what's hopefully going to be an amazing progressive career in this space. But to see the progression that we've done in a year, you know, we're very grateful for, and we're just, you know, eager to get more and more.
So you did debut single, which we can see was released. We ended, and
We ended in
so
Nashville.
we ended in Nashville. That's what it's called, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So how did that debut single come about with that the title and
Title.
what,
Yeah.
yeah, and what was the debut single about?
Yeah. So very classic country artist story.
Hmm.
I was going through a breakup at the time.
No, no.
That my yeah, my ex at the time went on a holiday, a vacation to Nashville, actually in Nashville,
All right.
and it was kind of that was the catalyst for our breakup, in my opinion. And, like many musicians, we wear our heart on our sleeves when it comes to our music. Sometimes our songs are very much like our diary, which We Ended in Nashville very much was for me, very
Yeah,
cathartic. And it was exaggerated emotion. It was a way for me to, understand and let out all the emotions I was feeling from the breakup. And so that's kind of the backstory from that. And then, yeah, brought it to the band and we developed it. So it's had quite a journey in its short year, of where it started from the demo version to the song that actually got released. But we absolutely love it. It was when we did our first couple of gigs when we were still kind of within our early months, last year. When we started to play the song live, we recognized instantly it was a crowd favorite. So whenever we finished that song, the reaction we got from the crowd was amazing, and that was kind of when we knew that had to be our first single.
yeah, wow. And so, are you guys on as assigned? Do you prefer like producing the music itself, or are you looking to, okay, we eventually need to get signed by a particular label?
Mm-hmm. Um, it's a tough one. I think we very much respect the hard work and dedication that comes to any musician who's self-managing. You have to be social media, the songwriter, the actual musicians, and we're all in our late 20s, 30s. So we've been in the music industry for the big majority of our lives. So it's not our first time trying to release music. So we know the amount of work it takes. So we're very much like that we have the freedom to do that we can stay very authentic and true to who we are as a band as well as individual musicians. But if we ever got the opportunity to sign on to a label, if they were a great fit and they understood us and the music and we still got to have all of that creative control, absolutely, it would be an amazing experience. Never say never.
Yeah, so it's probably depending on how, if it's a good fit for the band itself, for you guys,
Absolutely, yeah.
and you have that freedom to do what you want to, what you're doing.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Yeah, music itself is so collaborative that most of the time, you come across so many people that are so willing to help you out and push you along. And amazing as talented, experts can be, whether it's labels, producers, fellow songwriters, sometimes it's just it needs to match up and it needs to be the right fit, for the best kind of product to be released. And we think of this as, we love our music, but we know it's a business as well.
yeah, it is a business, isn't it? I mean, obviously, one has to
Absolutely.
take it as it is a business. Obviously, you want to gain recognition and
Mm-hmm.
obviously increase your fan base,
Yeah.
connect with the fans on there. And
Absolutely.
so, how is the feedback from Scotland regarding your music? And
Mm-hmm.
is it like a lot of good feedback coming through from them?
Yeah, so far, we've only done a few gigs, kind of in our short time, but we've been, any gig that we've played, you know, the crowd reaction has always been so supportive, so amazing. We've always had people come up to us, after the fact, and let us know what songs they loved and they loved their performance and such. But we're actually seeing a lot of love from the whole of the UK in general. And I think once we start touring and doing kind of more festivals and we start to grow that fan base, we'd love to receive more feedback, so we can keep growing and, yeah, building that audience.
Yeah, definitely. And any gigs in the UK?
Not at the moment, no. We are, trying our very best to get some shows lined up in the summer. We're talking to some promoters, various venues and festivals. We're very fortunate right now to be working with Scarlet River, who's helping us with that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so hopefully by summer, at least towards the latter end of the year, we'll have 100% hopefully have some shows lined up.
Yeah, absolutely. Any just to quickly mention any music artists who are interested in promotion, Scarlet River are great. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
Rochelle, she's amazing. And obviously we partner with her as well, the Woman Agenda, and she's does she's doing amazing work with
Mm-hmm.
male artists,
Absolutely.
female artists. So do check her out. Check out her website, and get in touch with her. So yeah, absolutely, definitely. It's great that you've done so much already, and obviously you've only been doing it for what, over a year now,
Yeah.
uh, on there. And is there any particular targets you have as a band you want to reach?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are so determined to just get out and play live more. You know, we've all been musicians for so long. We love performing live. We love performing these songs live as a unit. So, you know, if we ever got the chance to play festivals, that is definitely our main goal at the moment, is to get some festival bookings, either for the tail end of this year or hopefully into next summer. That is absolutely a goal for us. But in general, we just want to keep growing. And we have so many songs in our set list right now that we absolutely love. We're thinking that we're actually going to get in the studio end of summer to record a third single. There's a standout track in our set list at the moment that we think is going to be an absolute winner. So yeah, we'll start making plans to get that released if that's what we decide to do. But 100% festivals and just playing live and getting out and meeting people.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, and yeah, that is. I think live i- for musicians, music artists, live is just something else, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's your chance to interact with the fans and build that
Absolutely.
connection with them.
Yeah.
And I don't probably one of your best experiences, isn't it? As a doing it live.
Oh yeah, 100% agree. Not to say that it's not nerve wracking. So stage fright is definitely a thing and can be very scary. But you know, once you get into it, if music's what you love to do, or playing music live is what you love to do, it can be so fulfilling. Um, but for me personally, it's more just being able to, you know, songwriting is my biggest passion. So just being able to play my songs live and get an audience reaction in real time is what's fulfilling for me. Even if I find the actual playing live part a bit a bit scary sometimes.
So you do. I mean, I'm sure a lot of music artists they do find
Yeah,
it scary, and some probably haven't said.
yeah.
So do you still find it scary when you're going live?
I think it really depends. You know, it depends what mindset I'm in. It depends if I've had given myself enough pep talks that day. You know, you're an absolute badass. You can go do this. So it really just depends what headspace I'm in. You know, I'm a very much a people's person, and I love, you know, going out there and, you know, putting on a show. But you know, I have anxieties just like everybody else. I have fears, you know, imposter syndrome, whatever you want to call it. So sometimes that can get a little bit of a better of you before a show, which, you know, many greats will tell you is a good thing, because if you're not scared and if you're not a little bit nervous, you know, you have to have a level of, you have to care about it to a certain degree. And if you don't care and if you don't mind what happens when you go on stage, you know, sometimes it can lead to, you know, a bad situation. But absolutely, sometimes do get nervous.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's best to get nervous than being overconfident about things. I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I think it depends. Like, there's some musicians I know, and I know there's some musicians out in the space that, you know, playing live is feels like home to them. So when they get on stage, it's like they get into this alter ego, and you know, that is feel the most comfortable in the world, and I think that is an amazing um, thing to have, because playing live is so much fun. But yeah, for some musicians, it can just take that little bit of time to relax in the moment and enjoy being in that present period of time. And yeah, the more experience you get and the more you play out live, the better you are of just snapping out of it and bring yourself, can just enjoy the moment.
But as a musician, artist, and obviously you're doing your own work, so obviously you're probably twice as busy because you
Mm-hmm.
obviously you're hands on
Yeah.
with producing the music.
Mm-hmm.
So basically it is, and I've seen some who I've chatted with, they're always doing something because they're doing it themselves, all of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like 24/7. So
Mm-hmm.
yours must be like that, where it's 24/7. So how do you switch off, or can you switch off?
Um, I ignore the our band WhatsApp group. So sometimes I'll just turn my phone off and be like, nope, I'm checking out for the day. I'm clocking out. It can be really hard, especially, and I think this goes for anybody who owns their own business, is
Yeah,
self-employed, an entrepreneur. It can be very hard to step away and
yeah,
promote work-life balance, because you're chasing a dream, you're chasing your goal. So I think it's just really being strict with yourself. And that's why when it comes to our bands, even though we are musicians and we love the dream of making this a full-time career, it is a career and it is a job and it is a business. Even though it's your dream and it's your passion, you have to have that work-life balance, and you shouldn't be ashamed of that, and you shouldn't feel guilty. So there will be times where the group chat, or I'll have to post things on social media, but if I'm feeling burnt out, I'm feeling burnt out. So it's I'm clocking out for the day. I'll catch you in two rest days, and then we'll get back to work, and we'll make it happen.
yeah. Because and obviously we've heard about some musicians, um, you know, burning out because
Absolutely.
because then they have to take a break because it's either affected their voice or they've affected
Yes.
something else. They're drained out. Um,
Absolutely.
because it can be that kind, because like you said,
Mhm,
some businesses, they're working 24/7, some businesses as well.
mhm. Yep.
And if you're working 24/7 and you're not taking a step back and you're
Mhm.
not finding the right balance,
Yep.
that's where problems can happen, can't it,
Yeah.
really? Yeah,
Yeah, because you're only, if you're completely exhausted and burnt out, and don't get me wrong, there is times when the fire is lit. So whoever you're working with, like for me, it's myself and my bandmates. But for other musicians, artists, creative people, or entrepreneurs in general, there'll be moments of time where everything's go go go. They'll be so passionate and feel so inspired and making waves, and all the boxes are being ticked. And then it comes to that down period where it's like maybe not picking up as much or not moving as fast, and you feel like you have to work twice as long. And sometimes it's better to just you know work smarter, not harder. Have that rest, take that time to breathe, because if you're exhausted and you're burnt out, you're not fully giving yourself to your project. So it's good just to have that downtime, switch off, and listen to a different genre. Go listen to some drum and bass, or
yeah.
rock music,
Listen
whatever
to
you're
something else.
into. Yet give yourself that time to refresh, and then come back at it fully energized, just like any job.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm,
Absolutely. I've felt that like that myself, to be
yeah.
honest. Sometimes, like
Mhm.
when I'm doing my office job, and then
Yeah.
I know I need to do stuff regarding the channel,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to find a little bit of time to switch off, because I know
Yeah.
if I don't take a step back, then
Yeah.
it's going to get a bit too much. But yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Let's talk about the eagerly awaiting single,
Yes.
which is releasing on May the 29th.
Yep.
Take It Off. So tell us a little bit
Yeah.
about this single, Take It Off, and
Yep.
what can we expect?
Yeah, absolutely. So Take It Off is what we're calling, it's an homage to our blues and kind of outlaw, darker country influences. It's got some great modern kind of tricks and stuff in there that brings it to 2023.
Yeah.
So, but it's very traditional. So there's slide guitar in there. It's a bit rockier. It's a bit edgier, bit darker in terms of the lyrics. It's a very sexy song. And if anybody out there knows what a spaghetti western is, it's very much like that. I like to say it's if a spaghetti western film synced up with like a pin-up model, and they got together, and this is how the song was created. That's the sound of it.
All right. Okay. Oh, great, great, great. I'm sure it's going to be a success.
Mhm.
And regarding your music, how is it on? I mean, do you keep an eye on the charts and these kind of stuff? And is that the way to monitor success these days? Because obviously we
Mhm.
know it's all online, isn't it now? It's not, there's
Yeah.
no like any physical
Mhm.
tapes or physical CDs. I
Mhm.
mean, there is, but it's just not, there's not much is there really now. It's
Yeah.
all purchasing the single online. and
Yeah.
and so what about iTunes and all these
Mhm.
kind of places? Do you monitor success by these kind of margins or?
Absolutely. So I think it's good to just keep an eye on really how you're being received, whether that's through social media, through your Spotify streams, Apple Music streams, wherever you've released your music. And it's good to keep an eye on growth. If you want to see that growth, whether it's 10%, 20%, you want to feel that you're always progressing. We've not hit charts yet. Hopefully one day. That would be amazing. But for us, success at the moment is just that growth period. We're a very new band. We're very much aware of that. We're still in the beginning stages of that process. So, um, you know, our first single, "We Ended Nashville," had amazing response. We were getting streams from Canada, Australia, America. So even just to reach that parts of the world outside the UK was a massive thumbs up for us. It was like, okay, this is getting picked up by various algorithms and by other kind of radio stations and playlists. So we've got a good song here, and we just want to keep building on that.
Yeah, and I can see you do have a YouTube channel. Is it under
Mm-hmm.
the band name, the High Rhyme
Yes, yes. So it's just at the High Rise YouTube.
YouTube channel there? And are you planning to release a music video for the single? Do you plan that? That okay? Is there demand for it for the music videos?
Um, I think it really depends on where you're at in your career.
Hmm,
So I think if you
okay.
definitely have the budget and the funding for it, there is very much still an audience that enjoys music videos. It's great for promotion. It's great to, clip it and take snippets for your social media from a business aspect. It's, worth the money, but when you're starting out, funds can be quite tight. You're investing your own money
Oh,
into it. So I think for any musician in their start of their career, unless they have friends, family members, or just supporters of what you do willing to reach out and, help you grow from that aspect. But we've always been in the case of, if we were ever working with someone, we want to make sure that we're able to offer them the same value as what they're giving us. So we've kept it very simple in the sense of we're just releasing lyric videos at the moment because I can't create them. I use editing software and I'm able to create a lyric video. And even though it's investing a lot of time, it's
yeah.
zero money, which is obviously great for a starting band. So that's kind of how we're doing it at the moment. But any actual real music videos beyond a lyric video in the future, if we're ever getting that opportunity, 100%, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Because obviously, if you're starting out, you'll have to hire people obviously to make the
Hmm.
music video,
Absolutely.
unless you know people.
Yeah.
Um, then yeah, it's going to be difficult at the beginning,
Yeah.
definitely, obviously
Yeah.
on there. So what about so that's fine though, but you're quite new, so and you've done pretty well already. So
Thank you so much.
that's absolutely great. That's
Yeah.
absolutely great. And so just as you can see below, take it off, releasing May the 29th, and do check it out. And obviously available everywhere, Spotify, everywhere, Amazon Music, I'm sure as well.
Yeah. Everywhere.
So everywhere you're going to
Mhm.
distribute
Yeah.
everywhere, definitely. And so is it any is it technically at the moment, is it just all online now, or is there any market for the CDs, or has that just gone out of the thing, you know?
Um, I think so. I think it depends on the genre, and I think it depends on your particular fan base. For example, I know there's so many musicians, artists right now in the charts through various genres who are into the vintage. So, you know, vinyls have taken a massive kind of growth. So instead of producing CDs, artists are now starting to produce vinyls because in a few years' time, these are now kind of collector's items and stuff. So there is still a market
Yeah,
for it. But the distribution and the cost of distribution for a beginning artist, it is crazy expensive, even for like a small bulk. So I think you see it a lot more in artists and bands who are in later stages of their careers where they have that big fan base and they can invest the money into it. And I think their audience would like it. But I think it's more of a novelty item than they're actually using to listen to. Obviously, I don't know. I'm not in everybody's houses, but if I had to take a very educated guess, I do think, however, CDs will become the new vinyls in a few years' time, maybe in like 5, 10 years' time. The way vinyls have picked up in popularity and they're now seen as like cool and nostalgic and vintage. I think CDs or even cassette tapes in about 10 years, that'll be the new. So you'll start to see CDs and even cassette tapes pick up again in popularity.
yeah. I mean, I was totally shocked when
Yeah.
I saw that the vinyls were picking up again,
Yeah.
and the music stores were selling them, and I'm like, what's
Mm-hmm.
going on?
Yeah.
It's going, you know, I thought, you know, everything stopped with vinyls, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, nobody was interested in
Yeah.
purchasing them, listening to them. But
Yeah.
it shows that things can come back into.
Absolutely.
But yeah, they can come back again. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So there can be a demand. It depends on demand, isn't it? Obviously, vinyls, there's
Mm-hmm.
a demand, but it just depends on the CDs and the tapes, when the
Mm-hmm.
demand comes for them.
Yeah.
Uh,
Absolutely.
on there. So yeah, so do check it out. Take It Off releasing May the 29th everywhere. Check it out, and I'm sure it's going to be really good. And obviously, you're available like we see in Facebook, Instagram,
Yes.
everywhere.
Yes, we're on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Where else? Yeah, we're all at the High Rise: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook and YouTube.
So yeah, absolutely. So do check it out if you're on Facebook, Instagram, any of these, TikTok. Do check it out. Do check out the high rhymes, and do
Mm-hmm.
give uh, do send her any feedback if you've listened to her
Yes, please.
music, or if you are planning to uh, purchase the single. Do give her feedback,
Yeah.
and I'm sure it would be good. So what's the planning this summer then, regarding touring
Mm.
for the high
Yeah,
rise?
absolutely. So at the moment, so from about January of this year, we decided to take some time after we ended in Nashville was released to look at our set. You know, we're very eclectic musicians. All of us have grew up with music from a young age and been made aware and influenced by so many genres. And we found that our first kind of go at a set list, the songs kind of developed, and there wasn't really any cohesive identity as a band sound. So we decided that we need to take some time to strip all these songs back down, go back
Yeah.
to rewrite stages, demos. So it was a lot of time of me in the beginning of taking songs that I've written back to the drawing board and be like, okay, I can change the melody here, I can change the chord sequence here, the lyrics here to make it more country. Just so we have a cohesive kind of set list and band sound that worked with, the identity that we're of the genre that we're trying to be a part of. So we've been doing that. We're at the final stages of getting that set list together. We've got about 15 songs ready to go and play live. So yeah, we've recently did a massive kind of email marketing campaign, if you want to call it that, where we've really just been hounding tons of venues and promoters. And like I mentioned earlier, we're working with Scarlet River now to hopefully start to get some bookings. We really just want to grow our audience, and with each new
Yeah,
single, we hope that we're going
sure.
to be able to share more and more of the high rise and the vibe that we are.
Yeah, definitely working with the right people, isn't it? So
Oh, absolutely.
working with people like obviously like Scarlet
Mhm.
River and other places, and obviously getting more new audiences is to know about your music, innit? And
Mhm. Yeah.
so who looks after your social media? Is it yourselves? And are you like looking
That
managing
is
it?
all me. So that is I am the dedicated social media manager for the high rise. Um, yeah, all
Right.
just me. My bandmates, they do come with ideas, and they're very supportive if I say, we as a band and need to spend some time creating content so that we can produce social media posts and reels and TikToks and things. So they're very good at just, jumping into action, and very supportive with helping creating the content from a band perspective. But yeah, we do everything in house. It's all ourselves at the moment.
Excellent. That is so great, and obviously it's been great chatting to you, and obviously
Yeah, thank
knowing
you so much.
knowing more about the band by yourself, and how you've gone into music. So do check it out. It is Take It Off, releasing May the 29th,
Yeah.
everywhere online, Amazon Music, Spotify, everywhere. Check it
Yeah.
out, and I'm sure it's going to be really good. On there, thank you very much. First of all, Abbie, for coming on.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's
Thank
been
you
a
very
pleasure.
much. And just to quickly mention, any music artists, if you need more exposure, check out Scarlet River PR. Rochelle, she's absolutely amazing, and check her out. Contact her. The details are on her website for the Scarlet River PR, and obviously it's a great place for artists. Absolutely, and on there, and obviously, Women Gender World, we'll have lots of country music on Wednesday with our live chats with Rebecca, and I'm just having one of the days where I'm just blanking out.
It's the
But
cold.
yeah, yes, with the Lee Newton
Just
as
blame it on
well.
the cold.
I'm blaming on the cold today. I'm blaming on the cold, though I've
Yeah.
survived. I've survived. I've
Yeah,
survived. So
you'll be
yes,
fine.
we will have some amazing chats on Wednesday, 5 o'clock with Lee Newton and Rebecca Rains at 6 p.m. UK time. So do join us for that. Thank you very much again, Abby from the High Rhymes, and check it out May the 29th. Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Abby.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hope you get better.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye bye.